These signs keep popping up everywhere. It specifically says no motor caravans. Now, we're not bothered about the blue signs, the blue no overnight parking signs, because there's that many places to park in the UK anyway. We just usually ignore them, we move on, we find somewhere else to park. But these signs that you get in Scarborough on Royal Albert Drive, we've seen them in Whitby, and now here at Lytham St Anne's, just feels unfair to us. And so tonight, for the first time ever, we're going to test what happens if we break the rules and we park here anyway. But you see, the interesting thing about these signs is that because it specifically says no motor caravans, that means a car can actually sleep here overnight and not get moved on while the van might do. So tonight we're going to test it. So there's currently a car on its way. I'm going to sleep in the car, Emma's going to sleep in the van, and we're going to test once and for all which gets moved. And there's 3 possible outcomes. So with Emma in the van and me in the car, that's 2 people, 2 vehicles, same night, same place, but only one of us should be here. So we're not actually here to break any rules or cause any problems. If somebody turns up and moves us on, or rather moves Emma on in the van, then we'll just move. We're here to understand why this is, because technically you could have 10 boy racers parked up here. Not that we've got all against boy racers, but technically you could have 10 boy racers parked up here, playing loud music, and that would be antisocial behaviour obviously. But if they were sat quietly, they could spend all night here. But a quiet, silent van that's completely enclosed can't be here, and that's what we need to understand. And we need to understand what happens. Like, are they actually going to come and say you can sleep there but you can't because you're in a different vehicle? We need to get to the bottom of it basically, don't we? So the 3 things that can happen here is nobody turns up and nothing happens. B, Emma gets moved on in the van, but I'm allowed to sleep just because I'm in a car. Or C, we both get moved on, which can't happen because it doesn't say no cars. We're going to come to that sign in just a little bit because we're playing with a bit of a loophole here as well. You see, that to be an all-inclusive sign should technically say no overnight parking, and then everybody's included in that. So to put this into perspective, we've always parked here in this exact spot in Lytham St Anne's for years and years and years, long before these little fellas arrived. And from our experience and our perception of it, speaking to loads of van lifers over the years, we've always all been respectful. We've always all been quiet. Where this park up is as well, it's sort of just a parking area at the side of fields. And then you've got the coastal area down here. Lovely walks. Like, it's quite... There's some houses up there, but they're behind there. And then at the other side of that road on the yonder, there's houses there. And then Lytham St Anne's itself, the town centre is down there, where normally we spend money, we eat in cafes, we drink in the pubs, you know, we've got restaurants, we spend in the charity shops. Like, we give back to the town, obviously, consistently. We do litter picking, we've done a lot of litter picking around here over the years. And so when we turned up a couple of weeks ago, I think it was now, maybe longer, I can't remember, and we saw these signs, we were like, what's going on here? I think we went to Blackpool after that, didn't we? And so, yeah, it was a bit of a shock when we turned up and saw those signs. But these signs, these yellow signs, are going up all over, and we're not bothered. Like we always say on Romany Pirates on this channel, there's so many places to park up in the UK. We're not usually that fussed. We do not mind the blue signs, actually. Like, if it's no overnight parking, it's no overnight parking. We respect that, and we just move on. We find one of the many places you can park up on. What really upset us back when we saw it on Royal Albert Drive in Scarborough was the fact that it's specifically singling people out, and that makes us feel, as a van life community, a lot of us, not everybody, but a lot of us, it makes us feel discriminated against, it makes us feel singled out. You see, we're not here to upset any locals either. Like, there'll be lovely, lovely people around here. I know there's lovely people around here because we've spoken to many of them over the years. And so we're not here to upset anybody at all. All we're here to do is to question and wonder why it's that sign, not a blue sign, basically. That's the only issue. It's not the issue of trying to get away with it or trying to break the law or anything like that. The issue is specifically that yellow sign instead of a blue sign, which means I can come here in a car, I can come on a motorbike. Technically, I can park a lorry here and sleep overnight in a lorry, but I can't if I'm a motor caravan. Don't panic, Emma's just shouting from the back there. What is a motor caravan? What is it? So we currently have about 40 minutes to go until it hits 6 p.m, so we're not allowed to park here overnight. between 6 p.m. and 8 a.m. But the car obviously is. The car's not here yet, it's still on its way. So we're not quite sure what's going to happen at that point. Does somebody come straight away at 6 o'clock and tells us to move? If they do, here's the rules that we've set for ourselves. If they do come and they ask us to move, we're just going to be really polite and move. So we're not quite sure what is going to happen and what happens at this point, really. And if we're asked to move, we get asked to move, and we'll just simply move on. That's not a problem. As I keep saying, the issue is, you know, 2 people, same night, 2 vehicles, one's allowed, one isn't. That feels a bit like being singled out as a person owning a van, because according to that sign, even if you were a local that owned a van, you technically wouldn't be able to park it here.
The car has arrived. The car has arrived. This is Reese's new abode for the night. I think it's quite funny. I'm going to be really toasty and warm in there, and you are going to be absolutely freezing.
Which one is going to get moved on? Let's begin this ultimate test. It's 5:45 now. So the breaking the rules starts technically in 15 minutes. Is it going to be the car that gets moved on, or is the van going to get moved on? So they can't move the car because of the sign, and they technically can't move the van, and we're going to come to that in a second. But let the test begin. So it's now 6:20, so we're over the 6 p.m. Limit rule. The van was supposed to leave.
Over the 6 p.m.
The car can stay, so the car is there, that white one, and that is perfectly legal for me to sleep in it. You're going to get moved on, you.
I'll be warm until I get moved on.
Yeah, but you might get moved on. They're going to be waking you up, Emma. They're not going to bother me, because that's how ridiculous this rule is.
Yeah, but you're going to be freezing cold, so, you know.
I just want to show you how quiet this van is. So this is a car, obviously, and this is a van, obviously. Now the van, you can't hear anything coming out of that van now. It's absolutely silent. As where the car, if I were playing music, I'm still all right in front under that sign there. Right, look at this. Ah, yes. Right, so now we sit and wait, because if the traffic enforcement or whoever it is comes to move Emma, she's going to move immediately. We're not here to cause any trouble. We're just here to kind of go, what is the difference between a Ford car that's got 4 wheels, it's made of metal, and it's got doors, and a van that's got 4 wheels made of metal and it's got doors? I'm going to sleep in the car, Emma's going to sleep in the van. What is the difference here? Like, why can you sleep in a car, which you can sleep in a vehicle, perfectly legal in the UK, but you can't sleep in the van? It just doesn't make any sense, and that's the reason why we're doing this. It's ridiculous. They're like a right wally doing it. But we just wanted to not even prove a point, but just to understand, like, and to point out, like, these signs are becoming more and more. And as you know, like, we're usually people that say, you know, don't worry about it, go find somewhere else to park, which we do. But somebody's got to start going, what's with these signs? Because they don't make any sense. You wouldn't have it in any other form of comparison. So let's say you've got a pond. It doesn't, there's no sign on that pond saying no swans allowed, but ducks are. Or, how ridiculous would that be? Oh, I'm a swan, so I can't go in pond, but I'm a duck, so I'm all right. Like, it won't make any sense, would it? And that's what this is. 2 vehicles, 2 people, both sleeping in their vehicles, but the camper van's not allowed. Even if Emma wasn't sleeping in the van, we still wouldn't be allowed, technically, to park the van there, but you are allowed to park this car here. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, the 3 things that could happen here, as I was saying, if they come, I don't think they will, and that's something that's interesting in itself, isn't it? You know, and you take that what you want. You take what you want from that. If they don't turn up, there's no cameras here from what we can see. Although we might get a ticket later on, like we might be. I know that's like on Scarborough Royal Albert Drive. They've got cameras, and they just issue you a ticket through the post or whatever. But I can't see any cameras here, so I don't think that's going to happen. Although it might do. But yeah, they might turn up and move Emma but not the car, or they might not turn up. The option 3 where they move us both, they can't, because there's no restrictions here for cars at all. Like, there's loads of cars here. There must be about 10 cars parked up on this little road. So the van is the guilty one. It's the van that's guilty. So we're about an hour into this now, and I'm just sat here thinking, Just watching a bit of YouTube on my phone. Well comfy actually in this car. So to put this car into context, it's our son's car, and I've just dropped him off up the road in a little bed and breakfast with his girlfriend. So he's kindly lent me the car for this for this little test. But yeah, it got me thinking of the things that I don't have in a car. That, you know, because so vans often get blamed for litter and rubbish and things like that, don't they? You know, any rubbish about, oh, it's van lifers, it's campervans, it's motorhomes, let's ban them all. And you often see even signs sort of saying, you know, no longer permitted due to litter or whatever. Now I'm sat in a car, I've got no bin, I've got no toilet. And so the van has a bin and it has a toilet. There's no insulation, so anybody outside can kind of hear me, especially if I turn the music up. You can't hear anything in the van because it's so, you know, insulated, and so that provides soundproofing. So actually, in terms of which do you want parked here, the car or the van, and who's more likely to be responsible for rubbish, it's likely to be the car, isn't it, that you don't want here, because the van is fully equipped and it's, once that door's shut, it's silent, it's quiet, it's peaceful, it's not bothering anybody. As where the car, you know, kind of is. And then again, not to pick on boy racers, but have you ever seen a sign, because I haven't, saying no boy racers? You just don't do that. Van life, campervans, motorhomes, you know, people that travel, whatever name you want to call people, it seemed to be the last group, if you like, of people that where it feels, use that word feels, it feels like discriminatory, it feels like they're isolating us out. Now, I don't know what the reason for these signs are, and when you Google, you know, it doesn't really tell you much. And often people will say to me, Reese, wake up, you know, they're trying to stop van life, they're trying to ban van life, you know, from the top down. And I will say, no, they're not, and that's still my opinion, I don't think they are. But signs like this, where it doesn't make sense at all, why a car would be allowed here overnight, but a van wouldn't, doesn't make sense. And it wouldn't make sense why. So vans are allowed through a day from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m, but they're not allowed here. So therefore that means it's specifically, then the sign might as well say, we don't want you sleeping in your van overnight, but you are welcome through the day. So it's not the van then, is it, if we start breaking it down, that's the issue? It's the sleeping overnight in the van. But I can sleep overnight in my car, which then brings me on to the fact that so it must be the lifestyle they don't like, because what else have you got to go on other than that? So people might actually be right. You know, you of you that are commenting saying, Reese, they're trying to stop it. You might be right. I don't know. I still say there's thousands of places to park in the UK, and that van life is really easy because that's just how we find it. We find it easy. We're putting ourselves in this position tonight just to test what happens and why does it happen and what does it mean and all those questions, you know. But it does come down when you start breaking it down to, so if you're allowed through the day, but not at night, then it's surely that they're just trying to stop you from sleeping here. It's nothing to do with the litter or the rubbish then, is it? Certainly not the noise, because as I say, I could pull up in my car, play music, but the sign doesn't say no cars playing music, it says no motorcaravans, which we'll come to in a little bit. I'm going to carry on watching YouTube. What's interesting, as a man just pulled up with a torch, but I think it's just a dog walker. What's interesting as well is we've never had the knock. So we've been doing van life, travelling in vans, for coming up to 14 years this year. And we've never ever had the knock, ever, in anywhere, England, Scotland, Wales, all across Europe. We've never had it in any situation. So if ever we're going to get it, obviously tonight is the night. We're literally putting ourselves in a situation to get the knock. So imagine if we still don't get the knock here. We might not still get it. 7:10 now and still nothing, still nobody. I'm going to set my little bed up. I don't know whether to sleep here on front seat or whether to get him back. And the reason I'm not sleeping in the van is because I want to do this for real. Which is ridiculous. I feel like a right Wally. But I want to do it for real. I want to be able to say to myself and to you guys, it's okay to sleep in a car, but not in a van. Like, it doesn't make any sense, and it's a bit pedantic, you know, it's a bit ridiculous as this, but it's just showing you the thing. But so far, all quiet on the road, like nobody's coming to tell us to move on at all yet. So is it a case that these signs are up but they're not enforced? I don't know. Maybe it is. 7:25, nobody here yet at all. I've googled it, and apparently when they do their rounds, these traffic warden people, whatever they are, it's usually between 6:30 and 7:30 apparently, or 6 and 7 or something. It said 6:30, 7 or something. And then it goes quiet after that. They've done the rounds. They're at home out there having the tea like they should be. So I almost want somebody to turn up just so I can ask them, like, very politely, obviously, like, why are you moving the van on but not the car? And I just want to be able to see what they say. But as always on Romany Pirates, we're going to be honest, and if no happens, well, then we've kind of got an answer there as well, haven't we, as to how enforced these signs are, these little yellow signs. So yeah, we're just going to sit and see what happens, basically. It's very boring, it's very cold, while Emma's in van treating it like a spa resort, and I'm sat here. But it would be interesting, wouldn't it, if we can get that footage. I won't get the face on it or anything. I'll just ask them very politely, like, why are you moving that vehicle on but not this vehicle? Like, what's the difference between the two vehicles? Because they're even both Fords. Like, this is a Ford Fiesta, I think, or Ford Focus or something, and Roman is obviously a Ford Transit. So what's the difference here? And I just want to be able to ask them, but know what's happening. And if it doesn't happen, as I say, then we've still got an answer, haven't we? We've still got the test, and we've still kind of made it very clear to anybody watching this, any councils or anything, like, what is the difference? If you work for the council, please comment. What is the difference between a van and a car? Why can't vans park here? We are going to come to that, because there is a massive loophole, which I think will need its own vlog anyway. I'm going to touch on it a little bit at the end of this, but I think it'll need its own vlog as to why I think they might just walk past us anyway. Alright, I'm going to get a cup of coffee. I can see quite easily how people live in the cars and stuff, don't they? And I can see how it's really comfy. It's quite snug in there. I'm going to get a cup of coffee, but I'll just show you kind of what the situation is. So there's our little mate, our little friend. Look at it in rain. And this is the situation. Car allowed, van not allowed. Naughty Emma. Right, let's go get a coffee. You're not allowed to park here. You're not allowed to park here.
I've just been making you a brew. I might not bring you it over.
I was just saying, I'm bored stupid in there, you know.
I'm
all
alright.
Boring this. I want somebody to come so I can ask them why you're going to get moved on and I'm not.
I'm alright. I'm nice and toasty with Lenny. I've burnt my finger on Lenny though. But I'm nice and toasty with Lenny. I've got Lenny going. I'm alright, me.
Okay, like a 5-star hotel.
It is, yeah. It's nice. I've got damp feet from my shoes though.
No, what's happening here though, is it? Like, interesting this.
Yeah.
Nobody's coming.
I
It's just
started
quiet
off
as a
being a bit
mouse.
nervous, you know, like first time you are when you're parking a lay-by and you don't know if like you're allowed to do it and if you're gonna, you know what I mean? That weird
Yeah,
feeling
that
when
first
you're
time you
ever
do it.
parking a lay-by. I started off feeling a bit like that. I was like, oh, but now I'm all right. I'm not bothered now. I'm all right. I'm not going anywhere.
You might be. I'm going to wave at you like that. Bye, Emma. Bye, while I sleep nice and snug in my little car.
I'm going nowhere. I'm stopping here. I'm nice and cosy. We're cosy, aren't we, Daisy? Daisy's had a dinner. I'm about to put some dinner on. You can't have any because you're not in here, obviously. So I'll bring you a cup of tea, though.
Thank you, love. Bye. How mad is this? I might go for a walk on front. Look how quiet it is though. Can you see? I don't know if you can see. You can kind of see, can't you? That's Romany. I might be able to bring light up a bit in edit. We've got another mate here, look. Yeah, they've got that sign wrong, and I'm going to explain, as I say, in a little bit. I'm going to tell you on this video. Don't want to leave you on a cliffhanger like that. Why they've got that sign wrong, why they've made a terrible, terrible mistake, and this video can almost prove that they've made a terrible mistake. But I do want to talk about that in its own vlog, so that's probably going to be on Friday in its full thing as to why, and the ins and outs and all that kind of thing as to why that sign is either near or there, to be honest with you, anyway, when we start breaking it down. But that's my bedroom, and then we've got one car, and then there's cars down here, 2, 3, 4, about 5, 6 cars there. Mad, isn't it, that? Right, I'm gonna get back. I'm getting wet out here. I can't believe, like, I can understand why people live in the cars now. It's It's proper comfy. Emma were like, you're going to absolutely freeze. She's like, why are you sleeping in car? Why don't you want to sleep in van? I'm like, I want to sleep in car because I want to do it right. I want to, show the example, I guess, that you can sleep in your car without getting moved on. Like, but you can't sleep in your van without getting moved on. It's ridiculous. But that's why I wanted to do it for real. Who's this? Another dog walker. Yeah, I wanted to do it for real, but yeah, my point was, like, I can see why people sleep and camp in cars. Do you do that? Like, do you camp and sleep in your car? Let me know in the comments, because it's actually really interested me now, where we might actually, I don't know whether to do like a give it a go for maybe a week at some point, borrow this car and, take off somewhere for a week, and it. So bored. That realisation, looking down the street and looking up at the sign and then down the street, that nobody's coming, and I'm sat here like an absolute wally, like a clown in this car, waiting for my coffee. Emma's making me a coffee on Gretel the kettle, bless her. But I don't want to get out into the van and then somebody comes, because I want to be in the car when somebody comes so I can say what's the difference. I want to be able to say what's the difference, and if I'm in van, like, it's just going to look odd, isn't it? I can't say, oh, just a minute while I get back in car, and then ask him what the difference is. I want to be able to say, I'm not being funny, mate, like, I'm going to be polite, but what is the difference here? And I can't do that if I'm in van, which means I'm going to have to stay in the car. I'm in a predicament. I haven't thought this through. I haven't thought this through at all. I don't know what to do. I'm absolutely bored stupid. Turns out the most scariest thing about these van life signs is the boredom. I think Lytham St Anne's Council traffic wardens must be on a tea break. They're not even taking the sign seriously. They don't care. They obviously don't care. It's not like you've got a little man in a booth, is it? Popping his head out every 2 seconds. Nobody's coming. That's mad, isn't it? And obviously, so the one at Scarborough Royal Albert Drive has cameras. There might be cameras here. They might not need to come out. That might be a very, very real possibility. We might still get fined. The van might still get fined, and that'd be a follow-up video. The van got fined and the car didn't. Right, there's a white car just driven past and pulled up at the other side of Romany. I think this could be it. Nah, another dog walker. Nobody's coming, are there? There's a few things that could happen here. Somebody could still turn up, obviously, move the van but leave me in the car. We could get fined later, fining the van but not the car. Kind of case concluded again. So those two things could happen. The council could watch this and then realise that we'd parked the van here and fine the van and not the car. Still, the car is allowed to park here. We might get comments saying, oh, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have parked there. It says no. So again, back to my point, then why can the car park here and the van can't? Like, what is the difference? And you'll get people sort of saying, because vans cause litter and noise, and cars don't. Like, I've seen my fair share of McDonald's wrappers and things being thrown out of cars. And again, the van's got a bin, the van's got a toilet, the car doesn't have that. So what is the difference here? We've been asked so many times by so many different people, like, why don't you test it? Why don't you see what actually happens? That's a point, actually. I'm just sat here chatting to you a lot tonight, but that's a point. How much does it cost to pay people to put these signs up, for them then to realise it's the wrong sign? They've put the wrong sign up. It should have been blue. And again, we're going to explain that why. And it's into cliffhanger it or all like that. It's just because it needs a bit of explaining as to why it's the wrong sign. And I don't want to get away from the focus of this video just yet. So that's the reason for that. Look at little Lenny go. Living life of luxury in here, aren't you?
I haven't got anywhere to put my mic on, so I'm taking the thing off.
Come on, Emma, you're letting the team down here.
I'm sorry. I have made you a brew.
I know, thank you.
There we go, that'll go there. There's your brew. Get back to your car. See you later. Off you go.
Oh, it's hot. Well, what an interesting evening. Cosy this. Every time a car goes up or down, I'm thinking, is this it? And then I'm getting nervous then, because I'm thinking, what am I actually going to say to this, what's effectively a traffic warden, I think, innit? Like a nighttime traffic warden. What am I actually going to say? I'm just going to be polite, as I said, and I just want to ask that question, like, what is the difference? Why are we getting fined and moved on? They might just move us on and might not fine us, but it'd be just the funniest moment ever, waving bye to Emma while I'm allowed to stay here. But every time the car pulls up or something, I'm thinking, oh, is this it? With it at the back of my mind thinking, nah, this is just not going to happen, nobody's coming. About 8:20 now at night, so we're about just over 2 hours into it, aren't we? We're sort of 12 hours to go, but nobody's coming out at 2:30 in the morning. I wouldn't have thought, although you get a lot of people, don't you, saying I got the knock at 3 o'clock in the morning. But talk about bored. I've just watched something on YouTube about pyramids or something, which were interesting. Literally trapped myself in a car, haven't I? Emma's sat with her feet up, I bet, in front of Lenny, looking at how to make Christmas crackers or whatever she does.
Do you need a drink?
Look at what it is. You can't park there, mate. Yeah, might as well have a coffee. I'm bored, stupid, sat
You're all
here.
steamed up in there.
I know.
People are going to get wrong idea.
Not what's happening here, is it?
No, not what's happening here. It's literally dead.
And I can't see any cameras either. I don't think
There's
we're
no
even going to get
cameras.
fined.
There's no cameras here.
It's quiet as a mouse.
It's just one of those things. It's an illusion, isn't it?
Yeah, it does appear like it is
It's
a bit
like
of a
an
deterrent,
illusion,
an
isn't it?
illusion.
Like, it makes you.
There's nobody patrolling up and down here, is there? Look at
Makes
it.
you scared. You've got to comply, but it's like what you're complying to.
Right up. Who's this? It's just a car turning right. Oh, wow.
I like how he's parked his car up there to sell it. I bet that's been there about
I know.
3 weeks or something.
Yeah, if
probably
that were
longer.
a van there, boom, see ya.
I don't know what we're going to do.
It's currently 9 o'clock. It's as quiet as a mouse on this street. I'm getting tired. I think I'm going to get my head down. I'm just on front seat, I think. And then we're going to explain this sign. I keep coming back to this sign because I just want to sit and explain it to you. But I think that's going to be on Friday's video. I'm not sure yet. But we're going to explain that sign. But yeah, not much to report, guys. It's all quiet on the Western Front. And yeah, I'm just going to get my head down and see what happens.
You'll probably
during the
get a
night.
knock at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Maybe get a knock at 2 o'clock in the morning. Who knows? Let's wait and see. I'm going to get comfy here. I'm just keeping my coat on and stuff because I imagine it's going to get a bit cold. I'll just see what happens during the night. Night. Morning, guys. I am never, ever, ever car camping again. It was freezing. And then it got to a point at about, I don't know, 4:30 in the morning. I was like, I'm getting back in the van. But then I didn't want to wake Emma up. I've suddenly realised, I was like, damn, I can't get back in the van because if I get back in the van, I'm going to wake Emma up. So I just had to sit it out. I'm absolutely freezing. I'd plenty of blankets on me and stuff, but never again. Anybody that does car camping, I take my hat off to you because that is not easy through the night in the winter. I suppose you'd be better prepared, wouldn't you? Like, you know, if you're doing it all the time and living in it and stuff. But anyway, I'm going to get up and get a coffee. Morning, guys.
Morning. I slept so well last night.
I've never ever been so cold in my life. Like I said, never again for car camping. Unless we're prepared, we might do it. We might give it a week and proper go car camping. I think that'll be funny.
Do you mean we? I'm not going car
I've done
camping.
it. You have to do it.
No.
You have to do
We're
it
not
as well.
going car camping. You've no chance.
Emma said I smell this morning.
You absolutely no chance.
First thing she did when I got in van this morning, she went, "You stink." What a horrible
I
thing
did
to say.
not
You
say
did.
it like that. I'm
You
not
did.
having a domestic on
Said
YouTube.
I say I smell. So what actually happens with these yellow signs? Not a lot.
Nothing.
Nobody came.
Nothing.
Nobody came.
Nothing.
We might still get fined. But when I messaged my mate and I said this is what we've done, he went, "Thank you because you've tested it so that I don't have to." So a lot of people might be feeling the same. I don't know.
What I will say is, you know, we've done this, nothing's happened to us. We're not guaranteeing that anything
Yeah,
will
it
not
might-
happen to you. You might get a knock, you might get a fine, we don't know.
You take the info that you want out of this video. Basically, is what we will say.
But we've stayed last night and nothing whatsoever.
But we might kind of, you know, we might get a fine later on. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see, won't we? But the colour of the sign is wrong. It should be blue, and it's
Should be
not.
blue.
It's yellow, and it says no motor caravans. So despite all this, and despite the fact that we could have been moved on, it's very unlikely that Romany would have been moved on. And the reason it's very unlikely Romany would have been moved
Drum
on...
roll.
And this is the grey line I've been talking about for ages. And what I've been kind of hinting at throughout this video really is that Romany is a van. She is registered as a van, not a motor caravan on the DVLA, so she's officially a van, and that needs a whole vlog on its own to explain what that means and what that means for you, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
You can't
it does.
explain it in one video.
It does. It's quite complex. There's lots of reasons why
Yeah.
she's classed as a van. In fact, Romany isn't allowed to be classed as a camper van. She's not allowed to
She's
be.
not allowed.
So, in my
I love
opinion,
that.
if the DVLA are telling me that I cannot class her as a camper van, I'm not allowed to get the benefits of having her classed as a camper van, which is cheaper insurance. You know, also there's quite a few different benefits in it having them classed as a camper van, but cheaper insurance is the main one. If I'm not allowed to have that, then I don't see why I should be classed as a camper van when it comes to the signs, because yeah, I'm not allowed to have her classed as that.
So Romany is not a motor caravan, and that's the specific use of language that the DVLA use is motor caravan. Romany is not a motor caravan, as Emma says. She's not allowed to be classed as a motor caravan.
What does a motor caravan include, though?
Well,
Reece?
that's what I
They
want
need
to talk.
know
That's
that.
what I want to talk about on Fireside Friday, because it's so complex, and it's so, yeah, there's ins and outs of it. Whether somebody would have come and said, no, you're moving anyway, that's kind of what we were testing, I suppose. But actually, if they had come, we would have dropped that that Romany is not a motor caravan. The specific language used on the DVLA, she's a van. So we're going to talk about that on Fireside Friday.
We are.
Thank you
And in
so much
between
for
then
watching.
and in between now and then, Reece is going to go and get a shower
I
because
know,
he
I am.
stinks.
I'm going to go get a shower. See what I mean? She did say it. Thanks for watching. Keep writing your own story, and we'll catch you on Friday at 7. Bye bye.